Time for another edition of Wellness Wednesday with Dr. Bradley Meyer of the Okoboji Wellness Clinic. Good morning, Dr. Meyer.
Good morning, Dave.
We're going to talk about allergies today. I know a lot of people suffer from allergies. Thankfully, mine don't ever get that bad. Sometimes, but not like I see other people suffer. And you're going to talk about allergies and especially stress that goes with maybe triggering some of those allergies.
Yeah, and vice versa. So, I sitting here looking outside the window and looking at Highway 71, folks coming along, one more big weekend up here at the lakes, and then she's going to get a little bit more quiet again. But I look outside, and it's a beautiful day out there. But there's been a lot of stuff happening in that air and environment this summer. Of course, we know kind of the air quality with those fires from north of the border, and now we're hopping into ragweed, and right in the thick of that, and as we head into harvest here, that's going to stir some other stuff up. So. The allergens, we had a couple folks into the clinic, which was just a reminder to me. Both of them had a history with ragweed, and they both told me, goodness sakes, we've been doing really, really well here, gaining lots of momentum at the clinic, lots of energy, boosting the battery, and then the weekend came along and the allergies hit. So the allergies are a stress on the body. So that's what we're always looking to do here again, is identify those stressors, whether they be environmental allergies or food allergies or, chemical irritants, whatever it may be, detective work to find out the stressor. Maybe it's our kid going back to school and kind of getting into a new routine that way. We are in a constant state of stress on the body. The modern day right now that we live in, it's a constant state of stress on our adrenal glands, and we've talked a lot about that. So anything that's our anti-stress hormone. So every day as we move through the day, whether or not it's a stress from a job or family or saying goodbye to a loved one, or throw on board ragweed, or you throw on board, I went and had a cheat day and had some gluten, and oh boy, those are the things why we try to build as many days of the week as we can to make things a routine to build your battery. And we always talk about the mitochondria as our battery, and that's our ATP producer. So when we are boosting our battery, the stressors that we come across don't tend to bother us as much. So we're trying to boost our terrain, which is that space in our body, to make it as healthy of a place as possible, so that when those stressors come, we can manage them. So there are a lot of ways to go about managing stressors and boosting that battery, of course. Even hyperbarics are fantastic for allergies. We've got and again, the hyperbarics, it's huge. We call that our fire department, turns down inflammation. It might mean that at a certain time of year you need to get back in and do some more hyperbarics as well.
So one thing that's interesting is when we weaken the autoimmune, whether it be through stress or whether it be through diet, it really is a great opportunity for some sort of disease to kind of set its sights on you and play havoc with your system.
Exactly. And one of the ways that we measure that here, again, it's through the PNOE, which is that resting metabolic test. So if I have somebody that comes in, and that's where you just sit in a chair and we measure your oxygen in, your CO2, carbon dioxide out. But if you've got to measure that's showing your body's not real efficient at utilizing oxygen, that's one way that we know that, okay, this individual is at risk for those stressors coming on and wreaking havoc. And so then we've got a measure that we can say, well, if that's in 50 now, this resting metabolic score, we want to get that up over 90. And again, multiple ways to do that, but that's what we found. We've seen that in practice clinically over the last 4 years, that the more and more we do with things like ozone, dietary changes, things to reduce stressors, counseling, hyperbaric therapy, IASIS neurofeedback, all these different things turn down the stress level. And at the same point now, of course, over the last 6 months, we've got a measurable outside of, oh, yeah, I've got more energy and I'm not getting as sick as often, to say, yeah, that score that we check once a year on this PNOE is going from a 50 to an 80 or 90. And if it's not bumping up, then we know that, oh, there's some piece of the puzzle that we're missing. So there's a lot to do in the allergy realm that is outside of what might be thought of as traditional. A lot of times folks were going to do the antihistamines, the Allegras, the Zyrtecs, the over-the-counter antihistamines. Many folks reach for those. And allergy shots are oftentimes a big one for folks. But there are a whole host of, who really wants to come in and get, shots, allergy shots all the time. There are ways around that, and we will actually coming into this fall and winter deal with allergies, a couple of them, but we already have some really good ones. And again, that being the hyperbaric ozone. We've touched on this a little bit before, but that can be incredibly helpful for allergies, and one where it's almost like giving yourself, and it's called an autologous vaccine, where you take your blood, spin it, just a little bit of blood, and then spin it, and then mix it with some ozone and put that right back in under the skin in 2 to 3 blebs, and do that every 1 to 2 weeks. That is another way to boost your immune system and to turn down the allergies in a big way. So that's a big trick. We do a lot with ProImmune 200 here, which you can shake up in a shaker bottle and inhale that into the lungs and into the nose, and that can be a very effective approach for folks to work on their allergies. We will oftentimes do dehist is a big one for us, and it's got quercetin in it. So we did quercetin quite a bit, if you recall, during COVID. That was part of my toolbox to treat during COVID. So there's a lot of ways to deal with this and retrain your immune system and boost it. And I almost forgot the adrenals. A lot of times, if you give the adrenals a little bit of support as well, when somebody's coming into the allergy season, again, I've been doing more with addressing those adrenals. I might during allergy season say, hey, let's work a little bit more on those adrenals, and we might have to do a little bit more to support those higher stress times on the body. So let's say, for you it's ragweed, or it's corn pollen, whatever it may be, trees, grasses in the summer. But this cornucopia of approaches, ozonated glycerin is another big one that has great potential, and so you come in and if you are afflicted, some folks that have allergies that have them, it can affect their lungs as well, but they're just a drippy faucet, sinus pressure, headaches. What was interesting, we tested my son Henry this last week, and he had horses, cows, a lot of farm animals. I'm like, how is this happening? Because we don't live on an acreage, and we had a team come visit with us on allergies, and they were talking that in some cases these allergens can fly over 200 miles through the air.
Wow!
And so that absolutely blew my mind. So it's in his case again. We want to do the things that we talked about, and that's what we'll be starting to bolster his immune system. Again, reduce the stressors and amplify that mitochondria, boost the battery, so to speak.
Wow. That's when you think about those Canadian wildfires, that really brings that into play, because you can just see that smoke hang in the air, and you can see why that really bothers some folks.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, then we get back into, the tried and true oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
So whether or not you're getting it through ozone or you're doing hyperbaric therapy, the oxygen is a great way to cut through a lot of that stress on the body. And so we'll have folks that will come in and do hyperbaric treatments and notice immediate change from before and after, especially during the potential bad time of the year for their breathing.
All right, very good. Well, listen, we're going to head out here and hopefully keep our stress down, recharge our battery, and keep those allergies away. Now, for those folks that want to come see you, maybe have a discovery call with you, maybe they want to talk about ozone, maybe they are looking for a shot in the knee or the lower back or whatever the case might be, hyperbarics, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, give us a call at 712-339-6024. And remember, for the ozone approach for joint pain, back pain, shoulder, knee, all those things, you can just make an appointment. You don't have to, quote unquote, establish care. You can just come in and say, hey, this knee has been bothering me for a long time, and I'm interested in seeing what this ozone's about. So I'll have folks come in for that initial visit, and we'll just go ahead and on that first visit, if we talk to you about what the Prolozone is, the injection, and if you're ready to go for it, then we'll just do it right away. So that's kind of a quick and easy. But for those that really want to get going on the long journey, that wellness walk, to say, golly, in general, I've got a lot of chords out of tune, and I'm just not where I want to be, and it's more than one thing, and I just want to go and feel better. Yeah, that's going to be our hour-long visit, and that is something that it's nice to have a discovery call, which is complimentary, so you can call and ask for that, so to make sure that we're on the same page, that we're a good fit, and that we kind of have an idea before you come in what some of the goals that you're hoping to accomplish are. But we've got a great team here. We're at 3305 Berquist Avenue in Spirit Lake, just off of Highway 71. And we want you to be one of our next success stories. So come on out and join us. Give us a call, and we'll get going. I'm excited to get you full of life, thriving, not just surviving, right, Dave?
Absolutely. Live the day, not just survive the day. Very good. Dr. Meyer, it's always a great pleasure. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you again next Wednesday. And by the way, have a great Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, everybody else, have a great Labor Day weekend. You too, Dave. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Be well.
Dr. Bradley Meyer of the Okoboji Wellness Clinic. You can find out more at okobojiwellnessclinic.com.